I just want to start off by saying I was not the right man for what we're about to talk about.
Beer Mug, as you know, from time to time, we send out on the red carpet to do interviews. And I have to be honest. I got to give Mug some credit. He's right. He was not the right man for this assignment. Look, this was a particularly tough job for you because this was not your area. It wouldn't have been mine either, by the way. This is the Streamies. The Streamy Awards went down, last Thursday night, I want to say, at the Palladium in Hollywood?
Yep.
And they aired it on VH1. And this is awards that are handed out for YouTube stars and for Viners and for Snapchatters and people like that. And I bet 99% of the people on, that were on the red carpet would not be familiar to most people, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was having to ask everybody who they were and what they did.
Right.
Because I had no idea.
And it sounded like you weren't getting a lot of help necessarily from their people, but here's one example of how you handled it.
Beer Mug here at the 2015 VH1 Streamies with Natasha Bedingfield. How you doing?
Bedingfield?
No, you're not.
I wish.
Well, the publicist just said Natasha, so I was like, which Natasha could it be? She left me in the lurch.
So basically, you just guessed that her last name was Bedingfield because that's a Natasha, the singer that you've heard of.
Totally guessed. Just like the time I guessed Casey and the Sunshine Band or Kool and the Gang or whoever.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You're just naming bands from the 70s.
I love the fact that you didn't know her name, so you just guessed it.
Yeah.
You just sound so defeated. Like this is right at the very beginning of the night. You're like, oh my God, is this going to be a long
First
night?
interview, and I was just super embarrassed.
Nailed it.
Look, I can understand you wouldn't want to be face-to-face with that person when you don't even know who she is. But again, it wasn't your fault. You did the best you could. I love the fact in that interview, by the way, and let me play it again because this is a constant thread through Beer Mug's interviews. He always mics himself and almost never mics the person he's talking to. Listen again.
Beer Mug here at the 2015 VH1 Streamies with Natasha Bedingfield. How you doing?
Bedingfield?
No, you're not.
I wish.
Well, the publicist just said Natasha, so I was like, which Natasha could it be? She left me in the lurch.
You hear her in the background? She's like, I wish. Somebody named Sig Wielder, I think, was up next. Here's Muggs.
Hi, Sid Wilder. How you doing? Beer Mug from KROQ. I like your dress.
Oh my gosh, I'm from KROQ.
Yeah.
I love KROQ. I love KROQ.
What's your favorite song on KROQ?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Wow, that's a broad song.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a broad song.
I admit that rock and roll was not a good answer to what's your favorite song, but it is certainly not a broad song either. I don't know what's happening here with this person, but you seem to be trying to tell her how to pronounce her name, I think is what's happening.
Okay.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah,
How do you pronounce your last name?
Giraldo.
Giraldo. Like Geraldo, but with the hard G.
But like in English.
What's happening? What are either of you talking about?
I don't know. I was just kind of doing. I was just like trying to make sure I got her name right. Like Giraldo, like Geraldo with a hard G, and she's like,
"Why are you telling her that though?" She knows how to pronounce her name.
I think I was just thinking out loud. More,
Okay.
That's
more
good.
so, yeah.
It's good to do.
And what does she mean when she says, "Yeah, like that," but in English? What is she talking about?
I don't know. I think she's racist.
It could be. Now here's a Viner that I've heard of. She's one of the most popular on the channel. She's I think she's from South America someplace. Her name is Lele Pons. Now Muggs had never heard, very pretty by the way, Muggs, as you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Muggs had never heard of her before, but within 5 seconds he's decided that he wants to dedicate his life to being just like her.
I have a KROQ Beer Mug Twitter handle and Vine, but I don't do much, and the stuff I do is terrible, so I'll never be as lucrative as you. But
It's okay.
I one day hope to strive to be as good as you.
Thank you.
He hopes to strive to be as good as this woman he'd never heard of until 30 seconds ago. Now, there's a little bit of a theme in these Beer Mug interviews, and that's that Muggs is a little, I don't know if there's something going on in your life the night you went down there to record these, but Muggs is a little bit down on Muggs because you're already very critical of your own Instagram, which is fine, by the way. There's nothing wrong with your Instagram. But now you talk to another guy. His name is Ethan something, and he apparently is pretty buff, and that just gets you into a downward spiral when you start looking down and thinking about your own body.
Ethan, that's awesome that you stop and talk with me, such a slobbingly fat drunk that I am, and you're just an incredible athlete and a perfect specimen, running ultra marathons in 100 miles.
Yeah, I just wanted them to make sure that they knew they were better than I was.
Right, but
Why?
what's going on? What's going on with you, Muggs?
I'm in a rough patch, Bean. You know, I got a lot of life choices to make, and I'm not making a lot of the right ones. So, you know, just have to let them know.
Try that again.
Words.
All right, I don't know who you're talking to here, but now we're getting into a patch of interviews with Beer Mug on the red carpet at the Streamies last week, where Muggs talks about Muggs.
I got to talk about myself now because that's what I do. I challenged a bartender in Las Vegas one time to make me the most disgusting drink that would knock me on my ass the hardest.
Yeah.
Please note, by the way, how little whoever is being interviewed here is being mic'd. Okay, please note how much Muggs, how little interviewee.
And he mixed, I swear to God, it was like Goldschlager, Tabasco, 151. He mixed it all in a pot.
Great out the butt.
I took a shot. My whole body started burning. And I woke up later to be...
By the way, this poor woman, God bless her for being such a good sport. She's really pretending to be interested in Beer Mug's story about that time he got drunk in Las Vegas.
She did the high pitch. Really? Ooh, I don't care at all.
And I woke up later to be found in the bathroom in my hotel room with trying to take my clothes off because I was vomiting all over myself. And my friends started taking pictures of me. Do you make drinks like that?
That was the actual question? That led up to that? Muggs! Oh, my God.
And my friends started taking pictures of me. Do you make drinks like that?
I had that whole entire backstory in the middle of my question.
Oh, God.
So then she asked, I think, a very reasonable question when you look at Muggs and look at the life choices that he's making.
How old were you?
This is maybe like 23, 24.
I know when you say that you add 5 years. Way to go, bud.
So she totally nailed you.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
you
she
tried
got
to say
me.
it was 23, 24, so she knows you were really like 28.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
means this practically just happened. You're practically describing your current life.
Yep.
God bless you. All right, superstar on the red carpet at the Streamies, the legendary Sir Mix-a-Lot
Yes.
stops by, and you can imagine, as all of us would be, Muggs is very excited.
Mr. Mix-a-Lot, Sir Mix-a-Lot, as he's known. How you doing, man?
I can't believe they let me in here, man.
Dude, it's great to see you. I didn't think I'd ever get to meet you as long as I live.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Well, it's good to see you. First of all, is this your first Streamy Awards?
First Streamy Awards, and I thought it was going to be like all porn.
He was kidding there, right?
Yeah, no, he was.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, enjoy the Streamies, man. Thanks for stopping and talking with KROQ. I love you since the day I was born. In 6th grade, I used to sing Baby God. In 6th grade.
Okay, you just made me feel old. So do I stab you now or later?
Stab him now. Stab him now, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
He wasn't kidding there.
I love that you've loved him since the day you were born, by the way.
Yeah.
I love that. That's quite a compliment.
Yeah.
And finally, for this edition of Beer Mug's Red Carpet Interviews and the Streamy Awards, you talked to Omi. Now, he's not a household name, but he certainly is a big star right now because he's got one of the songs of the summer, that cheerleader song that Kiss FM plays every 25 minutes is by him, Omi. So Muggs, as you know, is a drummer, Allie.
Yeah.
And
He likes
Muggs
beats.
loves the opportunity whenever he gets to talk to a musician to talk about his music skills, because that's really the takeaway for any interview with Omi.
You know what's funny, Omi, about that, what you just said, a voice noting it, sometimes when I'm falling asleep, I'm really into beats and like music. Right when I hit REM sleep, which is like right the time, I start getting these crazy beats in my head, and I got to tell myself, oh, I got to wake up and kind of like in mouth the beat to remind myself, hey, I did this. I came up with it.
I'm so glad that Omi was there to hear you talk about how you capture the beats that you dream. And where are all these magical beats, by the way, that you're waking up and saving because they're so great?
I never save him. Never. But he was totally picking up what I was putting down. He knew what I was talking about.
Well, we wouldn't know because he wasn't mic'd. Nice job, Muggs.
Thank you, Bean.